let's get into the papers now and get to know what the headlines are reading up across the country this morning. Some of the stories that you will be coming across as you read the papers today. And we have joining us public affairs commentator Nelson Ekujumi. Nelson, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Nice to have you join us.
Baraka de Salah.
Yeah,
good to
exactly.
see you. Baraka de Salah. Happy Eid al-Mawlud.
Eid al-Mawlud. Yeah.
All right, let's begin as usual with the punch. The story of Maina Gate is found on all the covers of the papers, but let's stick with this first. Produce probe report within 7 days. That's reps telling and ordering in the AGF, the Attorney General of the Federation. PAMSEC takes responsibility for reinstatement error. Okay, finally somebody seems to be taking responsibility. And Maina bought $2 million house in cash, says EFCC.
Very interesting. And, you know, it's a good development that, you know, we are being availed the issues surrounding the Maina gates. And, you know, we must commend the House of Representatives for taking that bold step, you know, to wipe off the national embarrassment of how somebody who had allegedly absconded from duty post for over 3 years, how he can just all of a sudden, within a twinkle of an eye, just return to his post, you know. And also it tells you greatly the rot that has bedeviled almost every facet of our life. If the PAMSEC of a particular ministry can reinstate a civil servant, I thought, and I know very well that that is the responsibility of the Civil Service Commission. That tells you clearly.
Well, the point is, how powerful is this PAMSEC? Who could have given him such audacity?
Well,
is it something, you know, he could have done on his own?
I don't think so, but you know, you cannot overrule that. You know,
there's a possibility.
Yeah, there's a possibility because in this country, at a point in time,
in the civil service structure, the PAMSEC is the highest.
Yes,
the highest officer. So when it comes to being powerful, in the way you put it, he has the.
Remember the days of the super PAMSECs, the higher days of this
exactly.
world, you know. So I expect that at the end of the day, the necessary punishments, you know, should be meted out to those who have, you know, brought us to this level.
Because I know those letters that were sent out were signed by some persons, and certainly someone has to take responsibility.
Well, hopefully we can really unravel this and it will not just be swept under the carpet at the end of the day. Now we're feeling like something is coming out, but who knows how far these investigations will go. Okay, OPEC pegs Nigeria's oil output at 1.8 million barrels per day. That is a total departure from what we are projecting. 2.3 million barrels, that's what we're looking at for 2018. What would this do to us?
Well, it means that we'll have a shortfall, you know, in our revenue expectations. But, you know, I believe the government must know how to get around it through, you know, negotiating with OPEC as a body, because they determine what member countries should produce and supply to the market. I wouldn't subscribe to us, you know, trying to meet up with our quota through the back door, because it could backfire.
It could backfire. Okay. Well, that's it, but there's still so many other stories. Of course, ICPC to grill suspended Securities and Exchange DG on Monday. Of course, he has been suspended and investigations are ongoing. Committees set up, as usual. So many committees. Paris Club refund. Court freezes 7 accounts linked to Governors Forum. And Jonathan described subsidy scam as oily business. That's according to Saraki. Yuletide, of course, it's December, the first day of December. Rice, frozen fish smuggling increasing, says federal government. Okay.
All right, that's that. Let's go to the Nation newspaper now. We have PAMSEC, I accept blame for Maina's return to work. We've talked about that. Ex-pension chief has 3 passports. These are revelations. And Magu say EFCC got no assets from Maina. Minister denies payment of salary. Remember, his lawyer, Maina's lawyer, was saying that technically he wasn't sacked. So he was getting salaries over the years that he absconded. Now we have news that
even from the sitting yesterday, the Accountant General of the Federation corroborated the minister. You know, it brings to fore the level of reasoning in the land today. You know, as a Yoruba man, we have this saying in my culture that agbojo enikonda agba oshika, that there are always almost three sides to a coin.
Yeah.
You don't hear from one side and arrive at a judgment and make conclusion. You know, when Maina's lawyer came out and said he was still receiving his salaries, I was like, when I saw some comments, I was like, why don't you wait for the other side to respond? And now the minister has come out to debunk what the man was saying. So even from what is going on, I don't know whether the laws of Nigeria allows any individual to be in possession of 3 passports when it has not expired. So I think Maina has a lot of explanations to give to the authorities. And that is why I want to call on all Nigerians using this medium that we must put our eyes solely on this matter to ensure that this matter, justice is dispensed favorably to the Nigerian people.
Maina is just one man. Who knows if it's a true reflection of what's been going on in the civil service over the years.
Over the years.
Very true, very true.
Yeah. All right, we have OPEC to impose soft targets on Nigeria, says Kachiku. We've talked about that. Certainly, there are reports that this might threaten the ongoing budget. The budget for 2018.
So, yeah, it definitely will, because we've projected a 2.3 million barrels per day. And if you take away 500,000 barrels per day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That
means we're going to lose a lot.
All right. Now, the final one here is the picture boldly on the front page of the Nation newspaper. The local government employees in Oyo State are kicking against local government autonomy.
Well, this
is a total contradiction, because we were saying it's better to have local government become a little autonomous, and they're saying
because they are closer to the people.
Yeah.
No, you see, the issue of local government autonomy, like I have always addressed the issue that it's a constitutional matter. But those who have been victims of the autonomy of local government in the past will tell you today that they don't want to go to that terrible past, especially the teachers. I saw one of the papers and I saw NUT that they don't want local government.
Yeah. This precisely is even NUT. This is NUT. So it's a reflection of not, because we hear the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, which is a collection of all the different unions, is also on the same page.
Well, that tells you clearly that for us to really deal with this matter, we need inputs from all the stakeholders to arrive at a holistic conclusion. We should not
and
just
maybe in addition to that, to find out exactly why, these people don't want that to happen. Why was it that it was not even in their favor in the first place when local government autonomy?
They don't have access to their cash.
Because yes, the major issue was their lack of accessibility to their salaries as at when due. We remember the days, I think that was
yeah, my point is, why was it possible for their salaries to be held onto by whoever, whether it was a state government or even...
Maybe because as at then, because of that autonomy, the local government didn't have anybody overseeing them or holding them accountable.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you clearly that if not for the fact that a lot of local governments are under the control of the states, the level of recklessness at the local government level is monumental, and we are all culpable in this, because most times we are not even interested in what happens. We behave as if the local government does not matter. Look at the last local government elections in most of the states. The voters turnout is almost zero if you look at it. So it's worrisome. It calls to fore our consciousness about the 3 tiers of government.
The vital role of the local governments and all of that. Of course, systems need to be in place to ensure that all of those things that we're talking about don't even happen at that level. All right, the Daily Sun. Or do you have other stories? Okay, you dropped that already. The Daily Sun, of course, still reporting on the Maina scandal, saying Maina scandal gets messier. Oyo Ita, PERMSEC fight over reinstatement of ex-pension panel's chair. EFCC, we got no seized property from him. Okay, but the EFCC only just said in the other paper that Maina bought a $2 million house in cash. That's a totally... all right, moving on. Jonathan fumbled on Chibok girls kidnap. Governor Shetima saying their budget suffers setback in Senate. Lawmakers postpone MTF and FSP passage. Technocrats out to embarrass government, says Saraki. And human trafficking. Charlie Boy, others storm Libyan embassy. We'll be discussing that. The issue of human trafficking and the slave market in Libya How concerned are you about this?
I'm very, very much concerned because this trade in human trafficking is as old as humanity itself. But the truth of the matter is that over time, year after year, we see a lot of Nigerians perish along the Sahara routes.
Yeah.
I sitting down here, I was once a victim myself. I went as far as there's a place, you pass Ilela in Sokoto State.
Ilela, yes.
Then you get to Agadez.
Yeah.
Then
In
Niger Republic. From Agadez, you go on the desert to a town in Algeria. So it's very, very dangerous.
What were you looking for when you set out to go to Europe?
Oh, please don't say I was going to Europe. I don't know how you arrived at that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I thought the grass was green on the other side.
Where's the other side?
The other side. So we embarked on this journey.
Wow.
A guy came, we were playing football, we were all footballers. A guy came, he told us he was taking us to Italy, and we gave him a lot of money that ordinarily you can even set up a small-scale business here and you'll be making your life.
I'm tempted to ask you how you even came about the money.
Oh.
If you had the drive to actually go for the money and you succeeded in getting the money.
Yeah. No, because I was looking at enhancing my career because I believed there was no future for me
in
right
Nigeria.
here. Yeah. So, and that is the driving force behind most young men and women. I met a lady in Agadez. She had a business in Ijora because then I lived in Ijora. The lady, when she described our business location, I knew where that business, and she was doing very well. But she had sold what she had with the hope of, getting to Europe. She was stranded in Agadez, and she had resorted to prostitution to make ends meet. And it was so shameful of her that a lot of them, they would rather become what we call merua, hawking water.
Over there, than coming back home to face the shame.
This is a lady that had a good business, a thriving business back home.
Yeah.
Something obviously is fundamentally wrong somewhere. Somebody's not telling them. Somebody's just not
they
giving out the information that's supposed to be given out.
You know what they tell us? Immediately you are standing at Agadez in Algeria, they'll tell you, you see that halogen bulb, that security post, that is the Italian border post. That when we just get there, we'll run across the road.
And that's it.
And you are in Italy. And you can imagine how you'll be imagining yourself in Italy.
You'll be gingered.
Oh,
you'll be motivated.
You'll be motivated. And at that point, you are left on your own.
Well, it's okay. Well, in this age of social media, one doesn't even have to have to be a doctor or a graduate before you have access to information and get to know that the risks involved with traveling like this is certainly
not worth it.
All right, let's go back to the papers now so we can. The Guardian newspaper: extension of oil production cuts threatens Nigeria's budget for 2018. We talked about that earlier on. And there are moves, the OPEC caps Nigeria, Libya outputs. Nigeria will be 1.8 million barrels and Libya will be 1 million barrels. And then one interesting story here says Buhari rallies global support for terrorism fight. Meets with leaders of 48 nations, gets Germany's backing. And Dogara advocates diplomatic, military clout on slavery, on the Libya stuff. And ECOWAS talks tough on maltreatment of citizens. Now, talking about rallying global support for terrorism fight, this has always been going on, even from the days of President Goodluck Jonathan.
Well, it's a fight that you cannot address locally because it's an issue that has international dimension. And the only way you can curb it or minimize it to the barest minimum is if you get the support of these other countries. Because
but what have they done when Israel has said we are going to support you, United States said we are supporting you, Britain said we're supporting you, France said we're supporting you, Germany said they're so where is all the support they've been talking about?
No, the support is coming, but those who are involved in the act of terrorism are also shifting grounds. They are making new inroads. It's just like what we used to say, that the heart of man is full of evil. If you put a man somewhere and you want to block his propensity to commit crime, he will look for new developments. The terrorists themselves, they are not sleeping. So it means those who are also waging the fight against terrorism must also be awake 24/7.
And like you said, their strategies seem to be shifting. Look at what happened in Egypt.
Oh,
you know,
at the mosque.
At the mosque,
Yeah.
there are over 300
people dead.
Initially, when terrorism started, we described it as Islamic terrorism and all of that. But how do you describe this? Well,
it is
Muslims
obvious.
doing this to fellow
they have said it and they keep saying it. All this terrorism thing is not Islam.
It's
certainly not
it's
Islam.
satanic.
It's just criminal and all of that. It's not Islam at all.
It is. All right, this day reporting, do you have more there? Okay, MFELA says our worst days are behind us. CBN reviewing framework to help youth create jobs. Soludo canvasses collective solution to national challenges. I think I need to throw in here, a World Bank report says by 2018, Nigeria would overtake India as a country with the highest number of poor people. Yeah. So if the worst is behind us, does it mean that World Bank projection might not come to pass? Or what are the indices to show that the worst days are behind?
The World Bank projection could be based on present realities. But that World Bank report is a warning signal that, look, this is what will happen to you in 2018 if you continue along this path. So for any responsible government or institution, it behoves on you when you hear those warning signals to immediately start taking steps to move away from that course. So if the CBN governor is making this assertion, let's believe they are fashioning out ways that will make the World Bank report not to come to pass.
Well, let's hope so. We can only hope so. PDP, unable to decide on convention committee chairman. Of course, PDP convention is supposed to be on the 9th of December.
Yeah, 9th of December.
I think we should, in tandem, towing the line of ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo, we should leave them to settle that. It's a family affair.
It is a family affair that might affect the rest of the nation.
Well, it's the PDP is a political party, and political party is a convergence of various interests subsumed under one umbrella. Yeah. So we hope at the end of the day, it's about 7 or 8 days from now. Let's hope that they'll be able to arrive at a definite.
But you see, one thing there is when political parties often say it's a family affair, we're going to handle it, and all of that. Yeah. These, for every act of a political party, contributes to the political culture of this country.
Of the nation.
Definitely.
When we look back to the 1960s, the early 60s, the First Republic, our government, the failure or successes of our government is totally a product of how the political parties acted. Second Republic, the same thing. Third Republic, the same thing. Fourth Republic, now the same thing. So, one way or the other, technically, even though it's a family affair, but that family is about Nigeria.
Definitely, I agree with you. But what we are seeing here, what it has shown us, is that if they are having problems arriving at who will become the chairman of the convention committee, it means definitely that negotiations, discussions, dialogue are ongoing. It means nobody is imposing anybody on them by fiat. That is why you have not seen anybody come out to say, I won't accept if so X becomes the chairman.
Yeah, but if by now they don't know
of democracy.
If they don't know who the chairman of the convention will be a few days to the convention, that in itself
but I feel that the point there is the political party has a constitution.
Yes.
It has processes by which anybody, any office should emerge.
That it
so why should it be an issue?
Maybe what is happening now is that some people are trying to circumvent the process. That is why they have not arrived at that.
All right,
but because we are not members, let's keep watching how it plays out.
All right, so Saraki is saying here, Jonathan was not prepared for presidency. Wow. Is this a bomb?
No, it's not a bomb. It's a statement of facts. Because I read Senate President Saraki's statement, which any discerning political observer was very, very much aware that, this was the reality on ground during the Jonathan years. He said when he realized the subsidy scam, that about 1.3 million naira was going down the drain into private pockets, that he went to Mr. President, even though he was a PDP senator, to tell Mr. President that, look, how can this be going on? And he said, Jonathan just told him, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the oil business, the oil industry is an oily business. You can imagine. So it was a
slippery, very slippery.
Very slippery. A lot of us have a lot of reports of such acts in various
of the sleeves
levels,
at
various levels, and when it's brought to the notice of the then president, he just waves it aside with the arm and leave those things. Look at the issue. He appointed somebody as a head of an institution. And his minister and the Minister of State said, they went to him and told him that this person is not qualified. This person has a lot of skeleton in his cupboard. They said when the DSS report even came to Mr. President now called them and said, oh, that's your assertion about Mr. X is true. I'm talking of the former Minister of State for Education, Kenneth Baggy, Olorogun Kenneth Baggy. He came out publicly and said it. He said only for them 24 hours later that President Goodluck Jonathan had appointed the same man that the DSS report indicted, and they told him. He said when they confronted ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, that ex-President Goodluck Jonathan now said, look, if we look at people who have been corrupt, we will not appoint anybody.
Wow.
You can imagine.
That in itself is very, very instructive. That's a very huge statement there.
Okay.
What he's saying is that nobody is actually untainted with corruption.
Yes,
in
let us
Nigeria.
put somebody there.
Will I wait?
That is his opinion. That is his opinion.
To all of this.
That was his opinion as far as those reports are concerned. We'll leave that there. Well, going forward, we have the Vanguard newspaper, which is the last. I know you're looking forward to the Mr. and Mrs. segment.
I hope they have something interesting.
I am responsible for Maina's restatement, Permanent Secretary, Interior Ministry. I think this paper puts it the way, as it's very, very directly. And apologies to the head of service. And I wonder why, when they had all of the goings and comings and comments against, I wonder why he didn't say anything.
Well, they were looking for the fall guy. And, unfortunately, the fall guy would have been the head of service because ordinarily, that's the office that is supposed to handle such areas. It tells you clearly the rots
in the system.
This seems
we have states incur 4.2 trillion naira debt as IGR rises to 396 billion naira. The debts from state governments is a worrying side of things.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the responsibility of the state governments is to the to the people of those states through the States House of Assembly. We can only call on the States House of Assembly to be alive to their responsibility. We operate a federal system of government in which the federal and the state governments are coordinate units. The federal government is not superior in any way to the state government. So we can only expect the States House of Assemblies to hold their governors accountable so that the debts that are being incurred are for development.
Well, the real question is the state assemblies, they've been accused of being just rubber stamps to the state.
But even if people say the State House of Assemblies are rubber stamps, the question I ask, the members of the State House of Assembly, were they appointed by the governor or elected by the people?
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs., what are they talking about this morning? What do you mean by women are manipulative? Tell me which man showed love to his wife and regretted it.
And the man said, Mugabe.